One of the biggest lies we've been told when it comes to building wealth is that you need a high income to build wealth. Keyword, high income. Now, does a high income help you when it comes to your wealth building journey? Yes, but not exactly. There's some caveat to that. And I'm going to dispel some of the myths or some of the beliefs that you have when it comes to needing a high income to build wealth. Now, do you need a high income to build wealth? The simple answer is no. You don't need a high income to build wealth. And I'm going to tell you why here in a bit. Now, one thing we have to understand is that when it comes to building wealth or when it comes to the wealth, accumulating wealth is very relative. Now, how much you need to be considered wealthy is subjective. You know, the IRS, the EPI, different publications have different baselines for what's considered wealthy. But in the general sense, whatever wealth means to you, you know what wealth means to you, right? If it's $1 million, if it's $10 million, if it's $20 million, if it's $1 billion, now that's necessarily something that, you have to figure out for yourself. What's my number? But that's not the subject of this video. What I want to touch on is just the fact that we've been made to believe that we need a high income to build wealth. That's not true. We've had guys like Mike Tyson who made a ton of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, lost it all. We've had guys that, from sports players to musicians to you name them. They've built, they made a ton of money during their careers and they basically lost it all. So there's something to be said there. I'm sure by now you figured that a key ingredient or a key recipe to building wealth is not just making a high income, but also having knowledge, right? You have to have financial education. That's one thing. There's two more. That's one thing. So you have to have financial education. You have to be financially literate, right? You have to have that financial acumen. You have to have the knowledge. You have to constantly learn how to manage your money, learn how to, manage debt, learn the rules, and have the right advisors by your side. That matters a lot. Now, the second key thing that matters when it comes to building wealth is your habits. Now, this is also a factor of knowledge, a subset of knowledge, but depending on how you look at it. So your habits basically drive how much wealth you accumulate over time. And it's also a function of consistency, right? Because your habits are built off of what you do consistently, what you do repeatedly, day in, day out. So if you are a heavy spender, that could limit your ability to build wealth regardless of your income. Or if you don't know how to manage debt, if you just rack up debt or good or bad debt, what's considered good or bad debt is also somewhat subjective depending on who you talk to. But simply put, good debt is any debt that puts money in your pocket, and bad debt is any debt that takes money away from your pocket. So typically consumer debt is considered bad debt. So your habits are a key factor. Your habits are key factors when it comes to your wealth building. Now, the other thing that's very important when it comes to building wealth, we've talked about knowledge, we've talked about your habit. The other thing we're going to talk about here when it comes to building wealth, regardless of your income, is time. So most times, people who make a lot of money and have the right habits and have the right education or know exactly what to do with the money, they somewhat find a way to compress the time needed to accumulate wealth so they can accumulate wealth faster. So the key here is even on an average income, on a low to moderate income, you can still build wealth over time with consistent habit. So you can amass wealth for yourself and your family by consistently spending less than you earn, consistently learning ways to invest and making sure you understand whatever investment decisions you are making or whatever investment options you decide to put your money in. You take the time out to educate yourself. If it's real estate, if it's stocks, whatever option, crypto, whatever your preferred lane is, you want to make sure you have the knowledge and you consistently build the habits, the financial habits that help you retain money. Remember, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. So if you invested $50 a day or $50 a week consistently over time, you get to a point where you've built up enough money in the right vehicle. You've built up enough money versus someone who just spent all their money and made the wrong investments and lost it all. A lot of people do that. Some athletes who go broke, it's not because they spent all the money they made, but they put the money in the wrong stuff they never understood, or the wrong advisors by their side. So you have to take out the time to learn, and you have to be patient enough and do things consistently to help you build wealth. So one thing that I would say is if you really want to get wealthy, don't focus on the income so much. Focus on building good financial habits, the fundamentals. Focus on learning, gaining knowledge, and then be patient. But now the magic bullet, the silver bullet, if you really want to get there fast or you really want to build wealth, like insane amount of wealth, you've done all the right things, you've done the fundamentals. The one thing that I've seen most successful people do, we're talking about the Jeff Bezos, we're talking about the Elon Musk, we're talking about some of the top 10 wealthiest people alive today. One thing they've done is they've created. So you have to focus on creating value, creating stuff that people will find solutions in. So creating solutions for others. So that is the one thing. If you are broke today, you've got no money, find ways to create solutions. It could be services, it could be products, it could be tools, whatever the deal is, find ways to create solutions if you want to get, really wealthy. So I hope this video helped you out today. If it didn't, I hope the next one does. But this is pretty much me sharing my mind unscripted, just basically sharing my thoughts and my findings, things that I've already discovered when it comes to wealth building on my journey to building wealth as well. I've discovered these things and I've watched and studied people who have accumulated a lot of wealth with little to no income. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you think this was helpful, share this to others, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to help other people find this video quicker. Also, I've got a link to an ebook that will help you out, free ebook. So this is going to help you understand how the rich and successful play the money game, the rules they play by to build wealth. Thank you for watching.